Hi, welcome back to Waxing On. Friday, and we're wrapping this up with another classic rock album. This one's from 1980, a band that had been around since the mid-60s, but their breakout album was 9 albums later. Now I'm talking about the band REO Speedwagon and the album High Infidelity. The only one I have, right? The only REO Speedwagon album I own. And to me, it was their breakout album. It's when they really had a real connection with the hits. The 80s were kicking up music videos. It was just the right time. They had been going since mid-60s, and they kind of changed up to a little more pop rock version of their band for this album. Now, let me just give you a quick version of who's on here. Firstly, before I mention that, 40 million albums sold. If you can imagine, 40 million albums by this band, 10 million of those, or we're talking rough numbers, right? This album alone. It accounted for almost 1/4 of their sales over the years. So you can tell it was going to be a classic in there. Sorry for the light underneath there. I got reading it off my iPad here. Performers on this album. This is the version of REO we had here. Kevin Cronin on lead and backing vocals. We've got Gary Richrath on electric guitar, Neil Doughty on keyboards, Bruce Hall on bass and vocals on the song Someone Tonight, and Alan Gratzer on drums. We also have some additional personnel, Steve Foreman on percussion, Tom Kelly backing vocals, Richard Page backing vocals, and Noletta backing vocals on In Your Letter. Okay, so there's the version of Speedwagon. I mean, they're still out now, and they're still touring, still playing concerts, but yeah, there's been personnel changes over the years. That's the players we had for this album. And I'll tell you, this album, again, it just seemed to connect with everybody. It was just the right album at the right time. Tunes on here: Don't Let Him Go, Keep On Loving You, Follow My Heart, In Your Letter, Take It On the Run, Tough Guys, Out of Season, Shaking It Loose, Someone Tonight, and I Wish You Were There. Now, what are the hits? Well, I'm just going to go back here a little bit again. Keep On Loving You, Take It On the Run. Those were big songs. From the album, 6 songs charted on the Billboard charts, and those are 2 of the top ones. It's a fun album. I had it on again just listening to it this week, and yeah, it brings back some memories. It's kind of a light, easy listening. It really fits well in the ear, you know what I'm saying? For the weekend, it's a great way to kick off your weekend. Something to listen to on the way home, something to crank up while you're working around the house on the weekend. Just some great memories from 1980 and the music that was coming out at that time. And I know there's quite a few viewers that enjoy that music. When I look at the views we're getting, at late 1970s, early 1980s music really connects. So I'm sorry I've been a while getting to this one. I'm sure it's a favorite of a lot of you out here. And keep in mind, REO Speedwagon's still touring, so if you're saying, boy, there's a band I remember, I'd sure love to see them again, there may be a chance. Hard copies. Well, this one, of course, an album, and I always talk about the great stuff you get with it. Nothing. Not even a lot of information on the back, so they kind of really kept it simple on here. But the music tells the tale. So streaming networks, absolutely. There's a deluxe version, I think, out there as well, probably with a lot more than you're going to find on the hard copies. If you remember, last week we looked at an album, Bon Jovi. That might have been the first of this week. Anyways, 30 tunes on it. CD had 16. So sometimes, yeah, I've got to give it to the streaming networks. They do give us a lot of bang for our buck. They give us deluxe versions that we don't have available if we're cranking out the old classic vinyl or the CDs. So that's it, Friday. Put a smile on your face with some REO Speedwagon. Have a great weekend. Everybody take care. Stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.